Good morning, Green Brainiacs. This is Final Order FOMO, your opportunity to learn about all the new things that are coming out in 3 weeks from Wednesday. I've selected a bunch of stuff that may be of interest to you, either spotlighting new series or spotlighting some interesting new stories in already existing series. I'm hoping that this video is going out. I do have a live chat going on the side there. I see a couple of people are joined in already. I'm not seeing my video come across, but we'll see. This is an experimentation of a learning opportunity for me. We'll see if it works out. I'll figure this out eventually. This will hopefully be the first of a ongoing weekly stream. Yeah, there it is. I could see me now. I think I could see me. There I am. Okay, so let's get this started with a spotlight on the new graphic novel collecting stories of Avatar: The Last Airbender. This is called Avatar: Last Airbender Team Avatar Tales. This will feature a bunch of different stories from superstar creators like Jean Luen Yang, Faith Erin Hicks, Carla Speed McNeil, among many others. And this anthology features stories both hilarious and heartwarming. Let's see. This volume also includes short stories Rebounds, Shells, and Sisters, previously released for Free Comic Book Day and never before collected. Next up is Orville. This is the first of, I think it's an ongoing series. It might be just a short mini series. Let's get the details up here. This picks up where season 1 left off. On their way to a fleet conference via shuttle, Ed and Gordon pick up a distress signal from a century-old buoy belonging to a Union ship and decide to investigate. This is written by Dan Goodman, with art by David Cabeza and Michael Atea. This comes out from Dark Horse Comics on July 17th, as do most of the things that I am putting up here on the stream today. This runs $3.99 and is written by the Orville executive producer David A. Goodman. Up next is a book called The Quiet Kind. The Quiet Kind is also from Dark Horse Publishing and is written by Chuck Brown with art by Jeremy Treese and Kelly Williams, and a very beautiful cover by Michael Cho. Let's see. I think notably this book is written and co-created by Bitter Root co-creator Chuck Brown. It tells two tales of power, revenge, and empathy, with a main story illustrated by Jeremy Treese and a bonus story by Kelly Williams. Hey, I just noticed our pal Philip Little signed in. Hey, Philip, happy Saturday to you, sir. Thanks for watching. And please, since this is the first one, I'm always taking feedback. I want to make this show interesting and informative for everybody. I see my partner in crime, Katie Merritt Greenbrain, is also joined. Thanks for tuning in. I expect some feedback from you, Katie. Give it to me. Okay, what do we got up next here? Wrong way. Still learning, folks. Aquaman. We've got a new Aquaman. This one is pretty important, as this is Aquaman number 50. Aquaman number 50 is written by Kelly Sue DeConnick and features art by Robson Rocha and Daniel Enriques. This cover is by Robson Rocha and also features a B cover by Ryan Sook. This is the start of, or this is going to be the second week of DC's new cardstock variant, and will also feature characters that will be spotlit throughout the year in what they're calling the Year of the Villain. This here is Black Manta with art by Ryan Sook. I think that's up. Yes, it is. A little description of this particular issue. Don't miss this landmark 50th issue and the start of a brand new story as Aquaman settles the old gods of unspoken water into their new lives in Amnesty Bay. Jackson Hyde, aka Aqualad, seeks out Aquaman to be his new mentor. While back in Atlantis, Mira makes a move that shocks the Widowhood. Meanwhile, Black Manta, recently kicked out of the Legion of Doom, prepares to make his next move against his greatest nemesis. But Lex Luthor is about to make him an offer he can't refuse. All happens in Aquaman number 50. Next up is Batman, also a big landmark issue. This is Batman 75. This cover is by Tony Daniels with a story written by Tom King with interior art also by Tony Daniels. This storyline is called City of Bane Begins. This has a pretty long description. I'll just tell you that this extra-sized anniversary issue kicks off a new multiple-part storyline that ties together all the threads of the first 74 issues of Tom King's epic Batman run. I just listened to a good interview with Tom King over on iFanboy, and he laid out his plans through the rest of his run on Batman and also into the Batman Catwoman series. This is going to be picking up speed, and I've got renewed confidence in DC's plan for this as it will continue in a secondary series while still maintaining its current direction. So that's good enough for me, and hopefully it will work for Tom King Batman fans. Also, we've got a B cover by, oh my gosh, who did this? This is art by Gabriel Del Otto and is the new cardstock variant in the Year of the Villain series featuring Bane. Pretty cool looking cover. Keep in mind, folks, these Year of the Villain cardstock variants are an additional $1, while I think, yeah. And this is also a giant size issue. And not quite as visually interesting, they're also offering a blank variant cover for Batman 75. Not pictured here. Next up on Final Order FOMO, we've got a new series called Collapser. Collapser is a mini-series in the new arc or season of DC's Young Animal imprint. This is written by Mikey Way. I assume. Yeah, Mikey Way with assist by Sean Simon and art by Elias Kiriazis. Yeah. There's a voice in the head of Liam James questioning everything he does, from his job at the nursing home to keeping his relationship with his girlfriend afloat. Liam suffers from anxiety, and the only thing that quiets it is music, which makes a weekly DJ gig his one saving grace. But Liam's life changes forever when he receives a black hole in the mail. Yes, you heard that right. One that takes up residence in his chest, grants him insane superpowers, and turns him into a celebrity, and draws him into a cosmic conflict beyond his wildest imagination. Where did this black hole come from? Why Liam? Is power the cure? Or will superstardom turn Liam into a black hole himself? Find out in Collapser, a superhero story that could only come from DC's Young Animals. I would love to show you the variant. There will be a B cover for this issue, but Marvel hasn't posted it yet. I mean DC. So, hey, thanks DC. Hopefully we'll have that by Monday when I have to place orders for this. Keep in mind, folks, if you're interested in any of these items, feel free to leave a comment in the chat box to the side, or let me know by any of our various communication channels, phone, email, messenger through Facebook, and we will make sure that you get this specific issue, specific cover, or make sure that we add the entire series to your subscription account. Oh, I just noticed we get a comment from Katie Merritt. She says, "Congrats on the inaugural show." Well, thank you, Katie. I hope to include you on these productions in the future. But I hope you're having a beautiful day out in the sun. Enjoy it while you can. Also, Philip Little, he raises a glass. Hey, Phil, let's have a drink. And Mike Benson chimes in with the comment, "I guess they killed Vertigo for Young Animals." Yeah, DC is in turmoil right now for sure. Or, let's see. Turmoil is maybe a harsh word. DC is trying to figure out their identity going forward, and I wish them luck. It's sad to say goodbye to Vertigo. But, it's not been the same since Karen Berger left, and hopefully the books will still be awesome, just a different brand. And Katie's also helping me with comments. Mike, When's weather and traffic? Well, that might be an interesting addition to the show. Stay tuned for more. Oh, and there's the special variant for for Collapser. Well, hopefully we'll get that by Monday. Okay, moving on. We got a new issue of, let's see, this is Justice League by James Tynion IV with art by Javi Fernandez, and this is we'll call it a redacted cover by Jim Chung. The apex predator rises. Justice, do more is coming. This is the culmination of the Legion of Doom's master plan, and they will take the Justice League to far out places they may never return from, and do things the DC universe may never recover from. And this also features a variant cover by Terry Dodson. Ooh, look how pretty that is. That's a good one. Featuring the big three, the Trinity, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. Next up is the new series, Jimmy Olsen. Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen. This is a 12-issue miniseries written by Matt Fraction with art by Steve Lieber. Jimmy Olsen must die. Wait, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Jimmy Olsen lives. Superman's best friend and Daily Planet photographer Jimmy Olsen tours the bizarre underbelly of the DC universe in this new miniseries featuring death, destruction, giant turtles, and more. It's a century-spanning whirlwind of weird that starts in Metropolis and ends in Gotham City. And then we kill Jimmy. Oh boy. If you did get a taste of this series from the Superman Leviathan one-shot, you'll know that this is going to be fun. It's going to be weird. And those are our two things both closely associated with writer Matt Fraction, but also Steve Lieber. This guy's a great artist. He's a craftsman. He's a veteran. He's been working in the comics industry for decades and honing his craft. And I think he's on the top of his game in this new series, Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen. This also features a B cover by Ben Oliver. Ooh, that's a pretty one. Ben Oliver is a fantastic cover artist. Sure would be nice to see him on the interiors, but this is a fine thing and available to special order if you'd like. Keep in mind, subscribers default to cover A on series, but we can easily move you to cover B if you'd prefer. Next up is the first in a reprint mini-series called Wonder Woman Come Back to Me, number 1 of 6. This is available in comic shops for the first time by creators Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmiotti, with art by Chad Hardin and a cover by Amanda Conner. Let's see. When Steve Trevor is called in for a test flight of an experimental new aircraft, he winds up lost in the Bermuda Triangle, and it's up to Wonder Woman and Etta Candy to follow his trail to a mysterious savage island. These stories, written by Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmiotti, featuring art by Chad Hardin, were originally published in Justice League Giant numbers 3 and 4. It's good that these are finally hitting the comic stores around the world. I'm very glad to have this available. Thank you, DC, for listening to our requests. I'm sure Wonder Woman fans are going to be fulfilled now. Thank you. Moving on. From IDW, we get a nice big chunky collection called Godzilla, Kingdom of Monsters. This is a trade paperback that will be shipping. Let's see. Let's get the info here. You know, when I get co-hosts, this whole fumbling and looking for information stuff, it's gonna be so much smoother and it's gonna be magical. But for now, gotta figure this out. Okay, Godzilla Kingdom of Monsters trade paperback is shipping on July 17th and features a price of $29.99. It is a big old book with 304 pages. That hits the sweet spot, folks. That's less than 10 cents a page. This collects the entire 12-issue series for the first time, written by Eric Powell and Various, with art by Phil Hester and Victor Santos. I believe this goes back to the beginning of IDW's licensed use of Godzilla, and also they were also licensed to use Anguirus, Batra, Destroya, Gigan, Hidora, King Ghidorah, Kumonga, Mechagodzilla, Mothra, Rodan, Space Godzilla, and Titanosaurus. Holy smokes. That's a lot of monsters. That is a kingdom of monsters, folks. And that is available for order right now. Next up from IDW is a new series, a new volume from veteran creator Walt Simonson, legendary creator Walt Simonson, the man who made Frog Thor. This is the series called Ragnarok, Breaking of Helheim, number 1 of 6. This continues the storyline that Walter Simonson set in motion a few years ago, and it looks to be the next thrilling chapter of the post-Ragnarok Thor saga. In the end, the gods gathered together and met their foes on the battle plain of Vigrid. There, so the stories tell, the gods and their great enemies slaughtered each other's. The stars fell from the sky, Midgard itself sank into the all-encompassing ocean, and the 9 worlds were destroyed. Oh yeah, let me go to it. There's the video, and there's the vision. Look at that beautiful thing. In this issue, Thor hears a voice out of the past and learns that not all the old stories are true, and that the path before him now leads to Helheim, the land of the dead. Walt Simonson, legendary creator of Star Slammers, Manhunter, and the Alien film adaptation with Archie Goodwin, and the definitive version of Marvel's Thor, presents the next thrilling chapter in this post-Ragnarok Thor saga. This is cover price $4.99 and hits the shelf on July 17th. What's next? Ooh, here's a very important graphic novel from the company that brought you the March trilogy. This is an original graphic novel written by George Takei. And you all know George Takei from his captivating stage presence and outspoken commitment to equal rights. But long before he braved new frontiers in Star Trek, he woke up as a 4-year-old boy to find his own birth country at war with his fathers and their entire family, forced from their home into an uncertain future. In a stunning graphic memoir, Takei revisits his haunting childhood in American concentration camps as one of over 100,000 Japanese Americans imprisoned by the U.S. government during World War II. Experience the forces that shaped an American icon and America itself in this gripping tale of courage, country, loyalty, and love. This is from George Takei, They Called Us Enemy. This also features the art of Harmony Becker. No kidding, folks, this is going to be a very important book. If you know anything about March from Senator John Lewis, that book changed the way people saw the history of race relations in this country from John Lewis's own eyes. It is the story of the civil rights movement throughout the 60s and his role in it. It won multiple awards, including Eisner Awards. It was a New York Times bestseller. I think this type of book is sorely needed in this marketplace. We need more of these kinds of things, and thankfully George Takei has stepped up to tell a very important part of American history. This is also on sale July 17th, has a cover price of $19.99. Up next, we get a new issue of Fair Lady. Fair Lady is a very cool series from Image Comics, written by Brian Shermer, with art and this cover by Claudia Balboni and Marissa Louise. Quick little information about the series. A client in an oversized cat mask hires Jennifer for a very personal case. An avid reader, he's frustrated that the mystery book he's been reading is missing its final page. Initially, Jenner balks at the rather petty assignment, but then she sees how much he's willing to pay. A fair lady's gotta eat. Cool thing about this series is not only is it a fun read, it also features fully contained stories in each issue. I've had 3 issues out so far. They've sold beautiful, and they've also featured beautiful B covers. This B cover is... let me get that information here. This B cover is by Justin Greenwood and Brad Simpson. We just had an issue come out this week, and it featured a B cover by Christian Ward. This team regularly gets great B covers, and it's well worth a look on the shelf. And that's a lot of book. For $3.99, you get 40 pages, probably 32 story pages, and a fully contained story. That's not nothing, folks. Where am I here? Hey, thanks again for watching this new program, Final Order FOMO. I'm about halfway through the list. I'm trying to figure out what the best format of the show is going to be. Looks like it might run a little bit close to an hour, but hopefully it's of value to you, and I'm hoping that it also helps you get to some great new reads, or make sure that you get the next important issue of your favorite series. And speaking of favorite series, next up is one of my new favorite series from Image. It's called Sonata. Sonata is written by David Hine and Brian Haberlin, with art by Brian Haberlin. And this is a cover by, both covers are by Brian Haberlin. He's a veteran creator over at Image Comics, and he's also very innovative and a gentleman who's always experimenting with format and technology. He's done things with AR combined with comics, and he's also done a lot of 3D modeling to help bring realism to his illustrations. While all the illustrations are hand-drawn, they're all sourced from his own designed 3D models. A little bit about the series. Sonata travels through a hidden underworld where she discovers impossible science, a giant killer bird, and a young man named Pao, who sees himself as her knight in shining armor. He is also the son of the rival Taiyan leader, which makes them deadly enemies. Oh, I need to find out where I am, folks. Interesting. Okay, let's see. Who do we got here? I see Megan Wilkinson joined. Hey, Megan. She says, "This is just so zen." And yeah, I do have a face for radio. Thanks for that, Megan. You're always keeping me grounded. Hey, check that face out, folks. Next up, wow, what happened here? Cycle. I'll make sure I'm only showing you the new stuff. This is the stuff that I've shown you so far. But I must have gone back to the beginning somehow. Erg. Well, this is a bummer. Let's see if I can figure this out. Wow. All right. Looks like my directory here only showed things through image. I wonder if that's a limitation with the software. Let's see if I could set up a new folder here for you folks. Meanwhile, hey, how's your week been? Mine's been great. Thanks. No, that's not going to work. So I hope this is still zen for you. It's not zen for me at all. Totally stressing. La, 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 la. Hey, so what are you guys doing today? Why don't you come by and check out some comics? We'll have a good time. I'll be here all day. Okay, let's see if this works. There we go. Give it a little resizing, and we're back up and running. Okay, let's look at some Marvel books here. This is the Age of X-Man Omega. This is the end cap to the Age of X-Man event, written by Zach Thompson and Lonnie Nadler, with art by Simone Bonfantino and a cover by Phil Noto. As twilight falls on the Age of X-Man, the X-Men are forced to decide what they stand for. I believe this will also end cap the series of miniseries that they've put together for the Age of X-Man event, and will also lead into the upcoming House of X and Power of X from writer Jonathan Hickman. The industry is abuzz with this new series coming up, so don't miss this last part to an era-ending run on the X-Men. Next up is Captain Marvel. This is Captain Marvel 8. I thought I'd show you this cover by Amanda Connor because I like Amanda Connor's covers. And this is a fun series written by Kelly Thompson with art by Carmen Nunez Carnero. It also features an open order variant in the Carnageized theme by In Hyuk Lee, which I'm sure I'm pronouncing that name wrong, but hey, that's the fun of live video. Meh. It is a beautiful cover. And, ooh, I gotta resize that monkey too. Get these set up again. Sorry, folks. This is how the sausage is made. Hey, look at that brain. I'll be showing you a couple more of these Carnageized covers here that Marvel is offering on Final Order Cutoff this week. This one is the new Daredevil number 8 with Carnageized art by Lee Garbett. Next up is the Carnageized cover of Deadpool featuring art by Scotty Young. That's a pretty one and fun. Haha. Deadpool fans, Carnage fans, get your orders in for this thing. And here's a super important one, folks. This is the Giant Size X-Men number 1 facsimile edition. Originally launching the new X-Men, the series written by Len Wein with art by Dave Cockrum and who did that cover? That's a Gil Kane cover, that's right. I believe this also features some reprint material with art by Werner Roth. But these facsimile editions have been super popular lately. Not only do they give a nice prestige package to an important event in comics history, but it also does a complete facsimile reprinting, including all of the fun and campy and goofy advertisings that are littered throughout the issue. Uh-oh. Katie's making Z sounds. I guess I'm too zen here. Sorry, I didn't catch your comment here, Mike Benson. I'm not sure what that square bound is about. I'll answer your question as soon as I know a little bit more about the question. Next up is Loki number 1. Loki number 1 is written by Daniel Kibblesmith. Beep, beep, beep. Daniel Kibblesmith with art by Marvel doesn't tell us. Earth's mightiest hero, Loki, in an all-new ongoing series. After dying a grisly death in the War of the Realms, Loki learned a valuable lesson in warmongering. Don't get caught. But now he has a whole new set of responsibilities, in that his brother Thor is not about to let him walk away from them this time. Late Show and Black Panther versus Deadpool writer Daniel Kibblesmith takes the God of Mischief in a thrilling new direction. This hits on July 17th and is a new ongoing series from Marvel Comics featuring Loki number 1. Okay, next up is a thrilling variant of Loki #1 in the Carnagize theme. I believe this is a Dave Johnson cover. That's pretty cool. I like that Marvel is using this theme to be incorporated with the character of the comic. That gives me a little bit more confidence about ordering this book. Next up is The Punisher, Annual #1, written by Carla Pacheco, with art by Adam Gorham and a cover by Dustin Weaver. It's Punisher versus the Brood Queen, the man who lives to punish the foulest parasites of humanity, the most monstrous parasite in the galaxy, and zero gravity. It's the Punisher versus the Brood Queen like you've never seen it before, because this time Earth's own Frank Castle's got a rocket. This runs $4.99, and I believe I will be putting this aside for all subscribers for the Punisher, unless you tell me not to. Next up is the third printing of Silver Surfer Black. Folks, this series was so popular, it got a second printing before the first issue even hit the shelf. And now that it's been out a couple of weeks, both printings have sold out, and it's going to a third printing. This looks like mostly black and white art version of the original cover by Tradmore, who is the interior artist along with the writer Donnie Cates on this 5-issue miniseries. Next up on the Final Order FOMO program is Silver Surfer Black #3. Again, folks, this book is super hot. You want to get your orders in for this so you don't miss an issue. And it also features an open order variant featuring art by Ron Lim. We've also got a trade paperback of the recent miniseries War of the Realms, and that is shipping a little bit later. That will be shipping in August 14th. And finally, from Marvel, we've got an epic collection of the X-Men featuring art by Jim Lee and various with writer Chris Claremont. This collects issues of Uncanny X-Men numbers 248 through 267. This is a lot of book, folks. Oh gosh, how many pages? Marvel doesn't tell us. Well, it's almost 20 issues. Actually, it is 20 issues, so that's got to be like almost 500 pages for $40. That's a pretty good deal. Moving on to Boom Studios, we got the new issue of Faithless by writer Brian Azzarello. This is the A cover by Paul Pope, and this is the FOC variant by David Rubin. Ooh, look how evil that is. Evilly beautiful. Next up is the FOC variant for Firefly #8 by artist Joe Quinones. It's a pre-order variant is what they call it. And from publisher Vault Comics, I've got a new series called Sarah and the Royal Stars. This has got a couple different variants that I'll show you in a second here. This is written by John Sui with art by Audra Mock. Features a B cover with a tribute to the Heathen series, which is an early series from Vault Comics. And that is featuring art by Nathan Gooden on the cover. And now a C cover that is a tribute to a classic Adventure Comics cover number 381 by Tim Daniel. Looks like an interesting new series. There it is. And from publisher Dynamite, we've got a new series of Vampirella. This is written by Christopher Priest with art by Ergun Gunduz, I guess is how you pronounce it. This cover is by Frank Cho. Looks to be a wraparound cover. And this series is celebrating 50 years of Vampirella, who debuted in July 1969. Now, to celebrate her gold anniversary, Dynamite is launching a brand new series. Let me get this out of the way here. With the talents of Christopher Priest, writer of Black Panther, Deathstroke, Quantum and Woody, and Justice League, with European star, American star in the making, Ergun Gunduz. Sure, that sounds cooler. Who's done art on series called Tales of the Great War, Taxi Tales. You'll experience the first mysterious taste of things to come in Vampirella number 1. This also features covers by Alex Ross, Joe Jusko, and Guillaume March. There's also a cosplay variant. That one's kind of saucy. Next up from Titan Publishing is a new series called Blade Runner 2019. Blade Runner 2019 is written by Michael Green and Mike Johnson with art by Andres Guinaldo. This is the A cover by Art Germ, B cover by last name Mead, C cover by Andres Guinaldo, and a little bit more about the series. In the neo-noir city of Los Angeles in 2019, Ash, a veteran Blade Runner, is grappling with a new case. A billionaire's wife and child apparently kidnapped by replicants for dark purposes. In this all-new ongoing comic series from the pen of Academy Award-nominating screenwriter Michael Green, who wrote the Blade Runner 2049 series, and Logan, along with American Gods. He did the scripting for that. Cool. Longtime co-writer Mike Johnson, illustrated by Andres Guinaldo. This first comic to tell original in-canon stories set in the Blade Runner universe. And that, folks, is the last title I have featured on Final Order FOMO, a brand new series from Green Brain Comics. If you are at all interested in any of these items, please let us know either in the chat box on the side there. All right. And any of our other social medias, our emails, our phone. We got a phone. We still use a phone around here. Number is 313-582-9444. Our website is www.greenbraincomics.com. Still getting used to that after a year. Just to backtrack on a couple of questions, getting back to Mike Benson about whether it's square bound. He was asking about X-Men. No, Mike, I believe that is saddle stitch. That is stapled. Also a facsimile of the... Oh, I guess that wouldn't be a facsimile, huh? It would have been square bound originally. I don't know. I never owned it. The earliest issue of Uncanny X-Men I owned was 104. Or no, 101. But thanks for the question, Mike. Also, say hey to Garrett Burke. Thanks for joining up, Garrett. We'll catch up soon. And thanks to all of you who checked out the program today. keep in mind that this will be an evolution. This will be hopefully a weekly program that will feature spotlights on items that will be hitting the final order cutoff window of the following Monday. This Monday is June 24th. Make sure to get your orders in soon to ensure your copies. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to feed your brain. Feed your brain! At Green Brain Comics. See yas.